Ravi opened his eyes slowly. A cold white light burned above him. His head felt heavy, and his arms were stiff. He tried to move, but his body wouldn't listen. The air smelled clean but strange, like metal and salt. As his vision cleared, he saw that he was inside a glass room, not a normal room, but some kind of chamber. The walls were smooth and silver. Strange symbols glowed on the panels outside. He sat up, blinking in confusion. "Where am I?" he whispered, his voice dry and weak. Then he remembered the flash of light in the sky, a sudden pull from above, and then darkness. The memory made his heart beat faster. This wasn't Earth. Before he could think more, the door slid open. Without sound, a tall figure stepped inside. She was not human. Her skin was pale blue, smooth like glass, and her large eyes shined silver. She wore a robe of soft green cloth, and a long braid hung down her back. She held a flat device in her hand and looked at him quietly. Ravi tensed, unsure what she wanted. "I am Nira," she said, her voice calm and clear. "You are safe here?" "Safe? Where is here?" Ravi asked, standing up slowly. "This is Zarian 4, a moon of our homeworld," Nira replied. "You were taken during our study mission. It was not planned, but you are alive." At her, "Why did you bring me here? What do you want?" Nira didn't answer at first. She tapped the device in her hand, and a small table appeared from the wall. A tray with a glass container was placed on it. The liquid inside was deep red, almost glowing. "You are weak. This will help," she said, and pointed at the container. Ravi stepped back. "What is it?" "It is made for your kind. We studied your needs." Ravi frowned but didn't touch it. Something about her, about this place, felt wrong. She wasn't unkind, but she wasn't kind either. It was like watching a scientist with a strange animal. After a moment, she turned and left the room. The door closed behind her without a sound. Hours passed. Ravi tried to find a way out, but the walls were solid. Glass was strong. He wasn't hurt, but he was trapped. He looked at the red liquid again. His stomach growled, but he didn't trust it. The next few days were the same. Nira came, asked a few questions, watched him, and left. She always stayed at a distance, never too close. Ravi noticed something else. The guards outside the room never looked directly at him. They avoided eye contact and whispered when he passed. Why were they afraid? One day he couldn't take it anymore. His body ached, and he felt dizzy. The liquid on the table was still untouched. But there was another container nearby, a sealed flask, glowing softly behind a panel. Ravi had seen Nira place it there once, when she thought he wasn't looking. When the door closed and the room was quiet, he walked to it. The panel slid open with a light touch. Inside was another container filled with the same red liquid. But this one was thicker, richer in color. It seemed warmer. He didn't know why, but it felt alive. His hands trembled. He uncapped it. Just a sip, he thought. Have to survive. The moment the liquid touched his tongue, everything changed. A warm rush filled his chest. His skin tingled, and a sudden wave of energy moved through him like fire and ice mixed together. His vision blurred, then sharpened. He could hear tiny sounds, a humming from the walls, the heartbeat in his chest, even a whisper of wind outside. The metal room? Then he heard something else. A voice. Not from outside. It was inside his mind. Stop. The door flew open, and Nira ran in. Her face, usually calm, was full of panic. That's my blood, human. Stop drinking. She screamed. Ravi froze, the container still in his hand. His heart pounded. You're... what? Nira rushed to him and snatched the flask away. Her hands shook. She looked at him with wide eyes, not angry, but scared. Deeply scared. You were not supposed to drink that, she said in a whisper. I didn't know, Ravi replied, still feeling the strange power inside him. I thought it was medicine. She stepped back. That was my blood. Valeri blood. Not for you. It should have hurt you. Or worse, Ravi stared at her, confused. But I feel better. Nira's eyes narrowed. This is not possible. No human should survive that. Silence filled the room. Outside, the guards gathered. Some stared through the glass. One of them spoke into a device quickly and left. Inside, Ravi sat down slowly, trying to make sense of what just happened. Something in that blood, in her blood, had changed him, and deep inside, for the first time, he felt something new, not just energy, but something else, a connection to what he didn't know yet. But this was only the beginning. Even with the lights dimmed and the room quiet, his mind was wide awake. Since he drank that strange red liquid, everything felt different. The air was sharper, the sounds louder, and his thoughts quicker. He remembered Neera's voice in his head. He had heard it without her speaking, and her words still echoed. "That's my blood, human." He sat on the floor, staring at his hands. They looked the same, but he felt a strange energy moving under his skin, like something was waking up. Inside him, the door opened slowly. Neera entered the room again. This time, she didn't hold her device. Her face was serious, and she stood still for a moment, just watching him. "You should be asleep," she said quietly. "I can't," Ravi replied. "Too much is happening inside me." Neera walked closer, but still kept a little distance. "Should not have drunk it. Our blood is not just liquid. It carries memory, thought, power, even emotion. It connects to our minds and our past." Ravi looked up. "Then why did it help me? Why didn't it hurt me?" "That's what I don't understand," she said. She sat down across from him on the floor, folding her legs under her robe. Her silver eyes studied him carefully. "No human has ever been able to hold our blood without harm. Even a single drop can cause pain. But you," she paused, "you drank more than one mouthful. And now you are ... changed. I can hear things, feel your emotions, even the guards outside. I can feel their fear." Neera didn't look surprised. "Yes, that is part of our ability. We call it echo sense. We can sense others, speak without words, see memories, but it takes us many years to control it." "But I don't know how I'm doing it," Ravi said. "Because you are not Valeri," Neera replied. "And yet, somehow, you are not fully human either. Something is inside you, something we didn't expect." Later that day, Neera brought him a new tray. This one had simple food, not the red liquid. Ravi was glad. He didn't want to taste blood again, even though part of him was still curious. That power, that feeling. It had been something strange and wonderful. But he also knew it was dangerous. "Did you know what was in that flask?" Ravi asked. Nira nodded. "Yes, it was part of my personal supply. Valeri give a part of their own blood to power the archive systems. We use it to store memory and energy. I never thought you would drink it." Ravi looked down. "I'm sorry, I was hungry. I didn't know." She didn't reply for a moment. Then she said softly, "I should not have left it where you could find it. This is my fault too." They sat in silence again. That evening, as the stars rose over the silver skies of Zarian 4, something unexpected happened. Ravi was resting when he suddenly felt a sharp pain in his head. Images flashed before his eyes, a great silver tower, a burning sky, a group of blue-skinned people standing in a circle. They were singing, or maybe speaking through their minds. He gasped and held his head. Then just as quickly, the pain vanished. The door burst open. Neera stood there, eyes wide. "Did you just send a memory?" Ravi stared at her. "What?" "I saw it," she said. "The tower, the sky, the circle of elders. That was not my memory, but I felt it clearly. It came from you." "I don't know how I did it," Ravi said. "It just happened." Neera stepped inside and closed the door behind her. She seemed less afraid now and more amazed. "You are learning fast," she whispered. "Too fast." "What does it mean?" Ravi asked. "It means your body is not rejecting our energy," she said. "It is using it, adapting." Ravi felt both excited and scared. "But why me?" Neera didn't answer. She stood and walked to the wall. Hit the wave. Of her hand, a glowing map appeared. Stars, planets, and moons filled the air like dust. She pointed at a small blue world, Earth. she said. Your home. Hundreds of years ago, the Valeri visited it in secret. We studied life there, learned from your people, and left without being seen. But something happened. Part of us remained there. Ravi stood beside her. You mean, you changed something on Earth? Neera nodded, in a few places. We thought nothing came of it. But now I think we were wrong. Do you think I'm part of that? Ravi asked. You may be a descendant of those who were touched by our energy, she said. Somehow, your blood has accepted mine. Ravi looked at the glowing star map, feeling small and strange. A human who had just found out he might not be fully human at all. The next day, things changed again. When Ravi stepped out of his chamber for the first time, the guards didn't stop him. They watched with tense eyes, but no one moved. Neera walked beside him. The hallways were wide and smooth, made of white stone and silver light. Everything was quiet. The Valeri who passed by whispered softly, their eyes wide with curiosity and fear. They know what happened? Ravi asked. Nada nodded. They can sense it. They feel your echo. You are no longer just a human visitor to them. You are something new. And they don't know what that means. Ravi stopped near a large window. Outside, he saw the stars shining above a blue gas giant. The moon base floated in silence, far from any human city or country. He looked at his reflection in the glass. Same brown eyes, same black hair, same face. But inside, everything was different now. Neera, he said slowly, what happens to me next? She looked at him with soft eyes. I don't know, she said, but the council will want answers, and you may be the only one who can give them. Ravi stood in the glowing hall, eyes fixed on the stars outside the window. He still found it hard to believe that he was no longer on Earth. He was on Zarin-4. A moon far away, surrounded by beings who didn't fully trust him, yet also feared what he might become. Neera stood beside him, silent. She didn't look afraid anymore. She looked thoughtful, like her mind was busy with questions. The air between them was heavy with things unsaid. Why do they fear me now? Ravi finally asked. She turned to him. Because you drank what? No. Human was ever meant to taste and lived. And not only did you survive, Ravi, you changed. You connected to our blood. And now you carry something none of us expected. Ravi looked at his hands again. They still looked the same, but the feeling inside was not. He could feel the gentle emotions from those around him, worry, curiosity, fear, like soft waves in the air. And deeper still, he felt strength, growing inside his chest, like a quiet fire. Is this how Valeri feel all the time? He asked. Neera nodded slowly. Yes, but our senses take decades to learn. We've done it in days. Later, Neera led Ravi to a quiet chamber called the Echo Hall. It was round, with a high ceiling that sparkled like the night sky. In the center was a stone platform surrounded by soft blue lights. She asked him to sit there. What is this place? Ravi asked. It's where young Valeri first learned to control their echo sense, she explained. You must learn now, too. If you don't, your mind will become too full, and you may lose yourself. Ravi felt nervous but nodded. He closed his eyes and sat cross-legged on the platform. Breathe slowly, Neera said. Focus on your heartbeat, he did. His heart thumped gently in his chest. One beat, then another, felt his breath slow. The world around him became quiet suddenly. He felt a pull. It was like a thread pulling his mind forward, not backward in memory. It's not sideways into thought, but outward into others. He saw flashes of images, a Valeri child holding a crystal toy, a pilot flying through a storm, an old one resting in a garden of silver flowers. I see them, Ravi whispered. I feel what they feel. You're touching the echo, Neera said. Her voice was both proud and cautious. Then came something stronger, a voice inside his head, not Neera's, but one he didn't know. Was deep and slow. Who are you, outsider? Why do you carry the blood of the stars? Ravi gasped and opened his eyes. The light in the room flickered. Neera rushed to him. What did you hear? Someone spoke to me, he said. A voice I've never heard before. She looked worried. It was the council. They are watching. That evening, Ravi sat quietly in his chamber, thinking about everything. Strange. Energy buzzed under his skin. Could still feel the echo. Even the walls of the base whispered thoughts, memories from long ago, carried in the very air. He held out his hand and focused. To his surprise, a tiny ripple of light danced between his fingers. It was like a soft flame, blue and gold. Nira entered just then and stopped, eyes wide. "You've begun shaping echo threads?" Avi looked at her. "I didn't mean to. It just happened." She stepped closer. "Only our elder guides can shape the threads with no training. This isn't normal, Ravi. Whatever's inside you, it's not just adapting. It's growing stronger." Ravi let the light fade. He sat back down. "Then what am I becoming, Nira? A Valeri? A human with powers? Or something else?" Nira didn't answer right away. She walked to the wall, opened a small drawer, and pulled out a thin crystal disc. "There is a story," she said. "An old tale our people tell of a being who would bridge two worlds, soul that could carry both light and blood. It was never believed to be real." Ravi raised an eyebrow. "You think that story is about me?" "Don't know," she said softly. "But you were the first to make the tale feel possible." The next day, the council called for Ravi. 6 Valeri elders sat in a grand chamber shaped like a star. They were all dressed in robes of deep silver, their eyes glowing softly. None of them looked pleased. Ravi stood in the center, Nira beside him. One of the elders, an older Valeri named Cyril, spoke first. "Human, you have done what no being has done before. Now, our world shifts around you." "I didn't plan this," Ravi said calmly. "I was lost, hungry, and afraid." "Yet now you shape echo threads," said another elder, a tall woman named Ally. "You speak through thoughts. You see memory. You carry what is not yours." Nira stepped forward, "But it is part of him now." "You cannot take it back," Cyril's voice grew firm. "He is dangerous. If he cannot control what he holds, he could break minds, damage our echo, and destroy balance. I don't want to harm anyone," Ravi said. "But I also won't run from what I am." There was a long silence. Then Ally leaned forward. "Then you will be tested." Ravi felt his stomach twist. "Tested how?" "You will enter the echo chamber, the deepest place of memory," Cyril said. "If you can survive it, you may stay. If not," he didn't finish the sentence. Didn't need to. Nira looked at Ravi with quiet worry. Ravi took a deep breath. "I'll do it if that's what it takes." The council nodded slowly, and the next challenge began. Ravi stood in front of a tall, silver door deep inside the Valeri moon base. Strange symbols glowed on its surface, and the air around it felt heavy, like the whole room was holding its breath. This was the echo chamber, the place where the strongest Valeri came to connect with the deepest memories of their people. Nira stood beside him, her face full of concern. "You don't have to. Do this," she said softly. Ravi looked at the door, then at her. "If I want answers, I do." "The chamber is alive," she warned. "It holds the memories of all Valeri before us. If you enter it, their lives, their pain, their hopes, they will touch your mind. Many Valeri train for years before they enter." "I've already felt pieces of it," Ravi said. "I need to understand what's happening to me." Nira nodded, though her eyes were sad. "Then I'll wait for you here. Just remember, what you see inside may not be yours, but it can still hurt you." Ravi took a deep breath. The door slid open silently, and a soft blue light poured out. He stepped inside. The chamber was silent. No sound, no voices. Just light and air and memory. As soon as the door closed behind him, the room changed. The floor beneath his feet began to glow. The walls shifted, slowly turning into moving pattern swirls of stars, rivers of light, and shadowy faces that faded in and out. Then the memories came. At first, they were soft. He saw a small Valeri child learning to walk on a golden field. He felt the child's joy, the laughter of a parent nearby. Then it shifted. A storm, ship crashing on a black planet, panic and fire. He saw a Valeri pilot struggle to guide her people to safety. Each memory touched Ravi's mind like a whisper, but the feeling stayed. Each one was real. He felt the fear, the love, the loss. And then came a stronger pull. The lights dimmed. Heavy silence filled the air. A new memory took shape, one that felt strange, different, not fully Valeri, and not fully his either. Ravi was no longer in the chamber. He stood in a forest, green and wet with morning mist. Tall trees rose around him, and birds called in the distance. He looked down at his hands. They were not his hands, were larger, older. He was inside someone else's body. In the distance, he saw a small group of humans and Valeri standing together in a circle. One of them, an elder Valeri, raised her hand and placed it on a human child's forehead. Then she whispered words that echoed like thunder in Ravi's mind. "We plant this gift in you, child of Earth. Let it sleep until it is needed." Ravi's heart pounded. This was Earth, and this was a memory from long ago. He watched as the child's eyes glowed faintly for a moment. Then the vision faded. Ravi dropped to his knees. The forest vanished. He was back in the chamber. His body felt cold, but his mind was hot with questions. The gift, the child, the glowing eyes. It all made sense now. He wasn't just lucky. He wasn't just curious. He was part of something much older, something planned by the Valeri. Long ago, another memory took hold. This one was darker. Ravi saw a council of Valeri arguing. Their voices were not in words, but in emotions. Strong, sharp, angry. One voice, the loudest, cried out, "We cannot control them. The gift must be forgotten. It is too dangerous." Another voice replied, "No, the humans are stronger than we. Believed one day they will be ready." Then the room shook with power. The memory split and scattered like smoke in the wind. Ravi gasped and held his head. So much knowledge, so much feeling, was more than his mind could hold. But somehow, it didn't break him. It made him stronger. The door to the echo chamber opened slowly, and Neera ran in. "Ravi," she said, "are you all right?" He nodded weakly. "I saw everything, your people. They gave something to humans, a part of their own energy. They called it a gift." Her eyes widened. "You saw the planting?" "Yes," Ravi said. "On Earth, long ago. A child was touched by one of your elders. It was like they knew this day would come. Neera helped him stand. That child may have been your ancestor. That's why you can carry the blood." Ravi looked at her. "But the council knew, didn't they?" "Some of them wanted to hide it." Neera nodded. There was fear. Many thought it was a mistake, that the gift would grow wild, uncontrolled. "Well," Ravi said, his voice steady, it grew. "And now it's awake." The council gathered again. Ravi stood before them, no longer weak or confused. His eyes were sharp, and his voice was calm. "I entered the echo chamber. I saw your memories. And I saw mine." Sorel's expression was unreadable. "You survived. That is unexpected." Ali leaned forward. "What did you see?" "I saw the planting," Ravi said. "I saw your people give the gift to humans. I saw the arguments that followed." Quiet murmurs spread through the elders. "You knew this day might come," Ravi continued. "But you feared it. You tried to hide it." "We feared destruction," said Cyril. "We feared losing our place." "But it's not about losing," Ravi replied. "It's about sharing. I'm not here to take anything from you. I want to learn, to help, to build something new." The room was quiet. Finally, Ali spoke. "You carry two worlds inside you. Now, Ravi, but which one will you choose?" Ravi smiled faintly. "Why choose one, when I can be both?" After the council meeting, Ravi felt both hopeful and uncertain. He had seen memories no one else dared to remember. He had learned that the Valeri once walked quietly among humans, shaping their future in secret. Now, he was part of that story, a living bridge between two worlds. But the answers he sought still hid in shadows. Neera appeared at his door early the next day. She held a small device, a thin crystal tablet glowing faintly. "I want to show you something, she said. It is a secret from our archives. Few know of it. Ravi's curiosity sparked. Please. She led him through narrow halls lined with silver panels. The deeper they went, the quieter the base became. At last, they arrived at a heavy door with a strange symbol, a circle broken by a line. Nira touched the symbol with her fingertip. The door opened to reveal a dim room filled with glowing crystals and floating images. This is the Archive of Truth, Nira explained. It holds records from the oldest times, things the Council hides from most. Ravi stepped inside, eyes wide. The walls pulsed with light, showing images of ships, people, and strange devices. Nira tapped a crystal, and a hologram appeared, a picture of Earth. Centuries ago, this is the time when the Valeri visited Earth, she said softly. You saw it in the echo chamber, but here you can learn more. Ravi watched as the hologram shifted to a secret lab hidden underground. Humans and Valeri worked side by side, sharing knowledge. Scientists in white coats examined DNA strands and strange energy crystals. Children played nearby, unaware of their fate. This was a project, Nira said. A project to merge Valeri energy with human life, to create new beings, stronger, smarter, able to connect with both species. Ravi's heart raced. Is that what I am? Partly, Nira answered. Your ancestors were part of this experiment. It was hidden when the Council feared it could fail. Many of those children disappeared or were lost, but some survived. Ravi thought of his parents, his family, and his own life on Earth. Could he be the product of such a secret plan? Keep this from everyone? He asked. Fear, Nira said. Fear that it would change the balance of power. Fear that the hybrids would become too strong. She stepped closer. But you are proof that it can work. That humans and Valeri can come together. Ravi looked down. I never asked for this. I just want to be free. Nira smiled gently. Freedom is more than escape. It is understanding who you are. Days passed and Ravi studied the archives with Nira. The more he learned, the more he understood his place. The power inside him wasn't a curse, but a gift. One that could change both worlds. One evening, while reading, Ravi felt a sudden pull inside his mind. Images flashed of his own blood mixing with the Valeris, bright streams of light flowing through his veins. His body shimmered with energy. Ravi, Nira said, you are not just carrying their blood. You are becoming something new. Ravi stood and looked outside the window. The stars glittered like diamonds. He felt hope for the first time in a long while. But not everyone was ready to accept this new path. One morning, alarms sounded throughout the base. Guards rushed through the halls. Nira found Ravi and said, the Council has called an emergency. Meeting, they see you as a threat. Ravi's heart sank. I thought someone to learn from me. They do. But others fear what you might become. They want to end this before it grows. Ravi clenched his fists. Then I have to prove them wrong. At the Council Hall, tension filled the air. Elders whispered, eyes darting between each other and Ravi. Some looked angry, others scared. Searle stood and said, this hybrid is dangerous. His power grows without control. We must act before he loses himself. Ali shook her head. He is the future. We must help him. Ravi stepped forward. I understand your fear, but I am not here to destroy. I want to build with your help. The Council remained silent, unsure how to respond. That night, Ravi returned to his chamber and closed his eyes. The power inside him felt stronger than ever. It was like a river rushing forward, unstoppable. He whispered, I will not run, will not hide. The future was uncertain. But one thing was clear. The story of humans and Valeri was only beginning. The stars outside Zarenfor seemed to shine brighter than ever. Ravi stood alone on the open platform above the base, his eyes on the sky. He wasn't just thinking about Earth anymore. He was thinking about what he had become. Behind him, the door opened with a soft hiss. Nira stepped forward, her robe gently moving with the wind. You're quiet tonight, she said. I'm thinking, Ravi replied. About everything. The past, the future, and the choice I have to make. Nira walked beside him. The council is still divided. Some want to help you. Some want to stop you, I know, Ravi said. But I'm not afraid anymore. I've seen the memories. I've felt the power. I know who I am now. He turned to her. But I don't know what to do next. Nira looked at the stars. Then you must ask yourself one thing. Do you want to live a quiet life or change the future? The next day, the council summoned Ravi once again. This time the atmosphere was different. 10 elders sat in silence. Many others watched from behind the glowing walls. The room felt heavier, like the moment was important. Cyril spoke first. Ravi, human and more, you stand at the center of something we did not plan. Your very existence has shaken the foundation of our beliefs. Ravi stayed calm. I didn't ask for this. But now that it's here, I won't run from it. Spoke next, then we ask you, what do you want, Ravi? What will you do with this power inside you? Ravi took a deep breath. I want to use it to help, not just humans or Valeri, but both. You said I carry 2 worlds. That means I can. Help bring them together. The council whispered among themselves. Some nodded. Others frowned. Cyril raised his voice. And if we say no, if we tell you that your path is not welcome here, Ravi looked him in the eyes. Then I'll walk that path anyway. The room went silent. Later, Nira found Ravi in the quiet garden chamber. She brought with her a small crystal device. It showed a map, not of Zoran 4, but of space routes between Earth and nearby systems. There is another option, she said. You don't have to stay here and fight. You can leave. Find your own way. There are places where no one will fear you. Ravi looked at the map, then back at Nira. But running means leaving this behind. The truth, the chance to change. Something that has been broken for too long. Nira nodded. Then what will you do? I'll face them, Ravi said. Not with anger, but with truth. The next morning, Ravi did something no one expected. He asked for a connection to Earth, a direct message to human leaders. I want them to know the truth, he told the council. About me, about the D. Valeri? About what we were always meant to be. The council hesitated. Sharing information with Earth was dangerous. It could start panic. But Ali stood up. Let him speak. Let the humans hear the voice of one who carries both their blood and ours. A message was prepared. Simple words. A calm tone. Ravi appeared on the screen, standing in front of a glowing Valeri symbol. My name is Ravi. I was born on Earth. But I am not only human. I carry something old, something forgotten. Connection. Between our world and another? I didn't choose this, but I accept it now. He paused, then added, and I believe we can learn from each other. We don't need to be enemies. We can be something more, together. The message was sent. It spread quickly, across Earth, across nearby colonies, across Valeri space. Days passed, some humans were shocked, some were afraid, but others were curious. Messages started to return, questions, interest, even support. On Zarian 4, the reaction was the same. Some Valeri wanted him gone. Others wanted to know more. A younger group of Valeri scholars reached out to Ravi and Nira. They wanted to study the connection, learn about Earth, and understand the hybrid gift. Small group was formed, the Bridge Circle, made of both humans and Valeri. They would work together, share ideas, and learn what it meant to be more than one thing. Ravi stood at the center of it all. One evening, Cyril came to visit Ravi in the garden, stood quietly before speaking. I still don't trust what you are, he said. But I can't deny the truth anymore. The people listen to you, and they are not afraid. Ravi nodded. Fear fades when we understand. Cyril looked away. Perhaps. But be careful. You walk a path with no map. I know, Ravi replied. But I won't walk it alone. Later that night, Nira and Ravi stood once again on the platform. Looking at the stars, you've made your choice, Nira said. Yes, Ravi answered. I'm not here to fight for one side. I'm here to connect them. The wind moved softly around them. In the distance, ships passed through the sky. Some of them carried Valeri, Others carried humans. For the first time, they flew in peace. Ravi looked up. Something inside him, something deep and quiet, felt calm. He didn't just drink her blood, he drank her history, her trust, and now he would carry it forward. Together. 1 month had passed since Ravi's message reached Earth. The stars above Zaran 4 still glowed the same, but everything else had changed. Where once there was silence and fear, now there was conversation. Ships came and went, carrying scientists, explorers, and thinkers from both Earth and the Valeri homeworld. And at the center of it all was Ravi. He walked the halls of the moon. Based now not as a prisoner, but as a guest, a symbol. Some still feared him, but many had begun to admire him. He was the first of his kind, a child of two worlds, a bridge between the unknown and the familiar. Nira walked beside him, holding a small box wrapped in silver cloth. "What's this?" Ravi asked with a smile. "A gift," she said. "From the Valeri Council." He raised an eyebrow. "The same council that wanted me gone?" "They have changed," Nira replied. "Slowly, not all of them agree, but most now see hope in you, not danger." She handed him the box. Ravi opened it gently. Inside was a round pendant, glowing with soft blue light. In the center was a swirl, half shaped like Earth, half like the Valeri symbol. "It's beautiful," Ravi whispered. "It is called a promise mark," Nira explained. "It means you are now part of both worlds, trusted by both." Ravi held the pendant close. "I'll wear it with pride." Later that day, Ravi met with a group of human scientists who had arrived from Earth. Among them was an older woman named Dr. Mira, a soft-spoken geneticist. "We've studied your DNA," she said, showing him a simple chart. "There are clear signs of Valeri influence, but not just from recent events. It's deep, very old, passed through many generations." Ravi listened closely. "This means others like you may exist on Earth," Dr. Mira continued. "Maybe they don't have your strength, but something inside them still connects to the echo." Ravi sat in silence for a moment. "So I'm not alone." "No," Mira said with a kind smile. "You were just the first to wake up." Ravi. Strange joy in those words. All his life he thought he was ordinary. Then for a time he feared he was too different. But now he saw the truth. He was a beginning. As the days passed, Ravi began helping both sides. He joined Valeri scholars to teach human language and history. He spoke with Earth leaders through holocalls, helping them understand Valeri customs. Bridge Circle grew larger, more active, more united. Still, there were challenges. Some humans feared the idea of alien blood mixing with their own. Some Valeri disliked the thought of opening ancient secrets to outsiders. But Ravi stayed calm. When fear arose, he answered with truth. When doubt grew, he offered understanding. And when anger appeared, he listened because he knew peace wasn't made through power, it was made through patience. One evening, while meditating in the Echo Hall, Ravi felt a memory reach out to him. But this time, it wasn't from the past. It was from someone else alive. He saw a young girl, sitting under a tree on Earth. Her eyes closed, her mind quiet, and then she felt something. A spark. A whisper in her thoughts. She opened her eyes and looked up. Ravi opened his eyes too, shocked. The connection faded quickly, but it was real. "Nira," he called. She entered moments later. "I felt someone," he said, "on Earth. She's one of them, a descendant, like me." Nira looked at him with wide eyes. "Then the gift has awakened." Again, Ravi stood. "We have to find her, and others like her." Nira nodded. "We will." Together. The Bridge Circle soon began a new mission. Not just peace, but discovery. A search for those on Earth who shared Ravi's strange connection to the Valeri, not to use them, not to control them, but to guide them, protect them, and help them. Understand, the Council approved the plan slowly, but with support. And Earth agreed, sending more people to help. Ravi became a leader, not by command, but by choice. He spoke from the heart, shared his journey, and invited others to walk beside him. He trained with Nira daily, learning more about his echo sense. He could now read thoughts, feel emotions, even calm minds with a touch. But he always used his power gently, not as a weapon, but as a light. He also studied Earth history again, but this time with new eyes. He saw old stories, myths, and legends, and began to wonder how many of them were echoes of the first Valeri visit. One night as the twin moons of Zarin IV glowed in the sky, Ravi sat alone with Nira in the garden chamber. "You've changed so much," she said. "You helped me," Ravi replied. "You believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself." Nira smiled. "You made it easy. You were always meant for more." Ravi looked up at the stars. "Do you think others like me will accept the truth, that they carry something alien inside?" "Some will," Nira said. "Some won't. But they will have a choice, just like you did." Ravi nodded. "Then I'll keep walking, keep building, keep reaching out." "And we'll walk with you," she said. He looked at her and smiled. As time passed, more hybrids were found, not all powerful, not all ready, but all part of the hidden history. Together, they formed the start of something new, a small group with hearts tied to both Earth and the stars. A future shaped not by fear, but by trust. Ravi became a symbol not of strength or control, but of hope. The one who drank the forbidden blood, the one who survived, the one who felt something unfamiliar and made it his own. The end.